My life changed forever at the age of 24. Looking back now, I realize how naive I was, thinking true love would last forever just because you want it to. I found this online community a few weeks ago, and reading other people's stories made me feel less alone. Everyone's story seems to follow the same pattern, like checking boxes on a list where almost every box gets ticked. I met her at a small diner where we both worked part-time. I was finishing my last year in the Air Force, and she was completing her final year of pharmacy school. She was 29, and despite the age gap, we clicked instantly. What started as friendly chats during breaks turned into something more after a staff party one night. Our first year of marriage was everything I dreamed it would be. Our families got along great, and we spent most of our free time together. Then things began to shift during our second year. I was working full-time at a construction company while taking evening classes in architecture. The time we spent together became less, and I could feel her growing distant. I made the decision to drop out of school, thinking I could save our marriage. I told myself education could wait. My relationship was more important. But nothing improved. I learned something about her that I wish I had noticed earlier. She got bored easily, always chasing the next exciting thing. I tried everything to keep her interested: surprise gifts, weekend trips, date nights, but it felt like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it. Then came the warning signs. She became protective of her phone, started staying out later than usual, and any attempt at affection from my side was met with coldness. I've read so many similar stories here, how cheaters seem to avoid intimacy with their spouse as if they don't want to betray their affair partner. When she finally confessed to having an inappropriate relationship with a coworker, she swore it wasn't physical. We tried marriage counseling, but she quit after 4 sessions when the counselor started asking detailed questions about her relationship with her coworker. Things seemed to improve for about 6 months, and I wanted to believe we had moved past it. But the cycle started again. The same patterns emerged: the secrecy, the late nights, the emotional distance. I confronted her twice about it, but she dismissed my concerns as stress or blamed our age difference. Then came the day that shattered everything. I came home to find her crying on our bed. When I asked what was wrong, she told me she was pregnant. For a brief moment, I felt joy, until I remembered we hadn't been intimate in over 4 months. The conversation that followed was like reading a script I've seen countless times in other people's stories here. It was just one time. It meant nothing. I only ever loved you. I left the house and drove to an empty beach parking lot. I needed that hour alone. When I returned, something in me had changed. I felt nothing, no anger, no sadness, just emptiness. She kept talking about how we could work things out, how the baby would need a father, how happy I had looked when she first told me the news. I sat there in silence for 20 minutes, just staring at her. When I finally spoke, I told her that every word coming out of her mouth was a lie. I said if she wanted any chance of fixing this, she needed to tell me the truth. That's when the Betrayal story came out. It had been the same coworker from before. The affair had never actually ended, and it had always been physical. She told me he wasn't interested in having a relationship with her and was pressuring her to end the pregnancy. She said she wanted a family with me. I told her our marriage had been over for 1.5 years. I was just finding out about it now. I asked her to pack what she needed for 3 days and leave. She refused, trying to talk to me through her tears, and even tried to be intimate with me the next day. I felt disgusted. I spoke with several lawyers and found one I trusted. The pregnancy's timing was enough proof for a fault divorce, but I didn't want to wait. We agreed to mediation. I gave up my claim to our house so she could sell it. I wanted her to have money for the baby. I kept only my truck, some clothes, my tools, and a few things from before our marriage. Everything else in that house felt contaminated to me. The divorce took 13 months to finalize. I saw her twice during mediation, and even though she was very pregnant both times, I felt nothing. She was like a stranger to me. I moved to a coastal town in South Carolina and took an easygoing job with the state parks department. I bought a small house near the ocean and a fishing boat. My life became simple. I have trust issues now. I'm 29, physically fit, and people tell me I'm attractive, but the thought of getting close to someone makes me uncomfortable. I'm the opposite of who I used to be. All my love goes to my German Shepherd, Luna, who goes everywhere with me. My job lets me work mostly alone outdoors, and I can often bring Luna with me. I thought I had buried the past until last week when she called. I don't know how she got my number. We talked for an hour, and at first, it seemed like she just wanted to catch up. But then her real reason came out. She wanted to reconnect. She told me about her healthy baby girl, now 2 years old. The father wasn't around much, and she had to take him to court for child support. She was lonely and unhappy. I told her I was sorry she was unhappy, but it wasn't my problem anymore. I explained that she had broken something in me that still hadn't healed. She made all the choices for everyone involved, herself, me, and her daughter. The only choice she left me was to walk away. For 3 years after the divorce, I lived a quiet life. After sharing my story online and talking with others who went through similar experiences, I realized I was giving her too much power over my life. By keeping myself isolated and distrustful, I was still paying for her mistakes. When I left my marriage, I thought I took nothing with me. But I still had my wedding ring in an old wooden box. Last month, Luna and I went deep-sea fishing. I took the ring with me and dropped it into the ocean. As I watched that gold band sink into the dark water, it felt like dropping a heavy weight I'd been carrying. The people in the online community were right. Surviving isn't enough. It's time to live again. I started dating recently. Met a nice girl at a local cafe, and we went to a few parties together. Things were going well until she told me she believed in open relationships and couldn't be happy with just one partner. I appreciated her honesty, but told her we wanted different things. Sometimes I wonder if I'm old-fashioned or if there are still people who value faithfulness. My sister Jade visited me last summer with her college friend. They're both starting at the University of Virginia this year. Jade spent 2 days trying to convince me I wasn't okay. She said I've changed so much she barely recognizes me. She and her friends secretly set up a dating profile for me. I deleted it after they left, but told her I was using it so she wouldn't worry. My boss and his wife keep trying to set me up with their friends. I told them I was seeing someone just to stop their efforts. I've had 2 short relationships and 1 brief fling since my divorce. The fling ended when I found out she was married. One relationship fizzled out from lack of chemistry, and the other ended because I couldn't open up emotionally. I'm different now. I used to love being around people, but social situations make me uncomfortable. I feel most at peace when I'm out on my boat with Luna, just the 2 of us surrounded by water in every direction. I can still form bonds. I love my sister and Luna with all my heart. But romantic relationships feel impossible. My therapist says I have PTSD with emotional numbness and wants me to see specialists and try medications. But I'm not sure I want to change. I'm not sad or happy. I'm just okay. Maybe that's enough. Everyone who knew me before says I need help because I'm so different now. But isn't that normal after what happened? Betrayal changes you. The person you were before can't be the person you are after. I know my family worries, but I'm fine. Really. The world is temporary. Everything passes, even the things that seem most important. Sometimes I can't even remember what my ex-wife looked like, and she was supposed to be the love of my life. All you can do is let go of what's lost and keep moving forward. Maybe being okay is enough. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that subscribe button to help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with friends or family who might enjoy it too. Your support means a lot. And if you have any thoughts, questions, or story ideas, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next story.